I'm going to show you a brilliant trick to turn an old dusty item I found in the trash into a powerful high-definition digital TV antenna. You might think this rusty piece of junk is completely useless, but I'll show you how to give it a completely new purpose with just a few simple modifications. I found this old, discarded TV receiver box. As you can see, it's covered in dirt and rust. My first step is to give it a good brush down to remove all the loose dust and cobwebs. A clean surface is essential before we start working on the internal connections. Next, I'm using a rust-penetrating spray on all the metal ports on the back. Since this box has been sitting outside, the contacts are highly oxidized. This spray will clean them up and ensure we have excellent electrical conductivity later. I'll just wipe off the excess with a microfiber cloth so it's nice and clean. I'm taking a standard HDMI cable. I'll cut off one end and carefully strip back the thick outer insulation to reveal the small colored wires inside. We need to expose the copper core of these tiny wires to create our connection points. I separate the small wires into two groups and twist their exposed copper ends together. Twisting them groups the signals and makes them much easier to solder securely. Leave a comment and let me know which country you are watching from. It's great that we can connect and chat from all over the world. Next, I've got a standard 1.5 volt D battery. I'm using a soldering iron and solder wire to prepare the battery terminals. I'm using a soldering iron to attach one group of our twisted HDMI wires to the positive terminal, and the other group to the negative terminal. This battery will provide a small voltage to bias the internal components of the box, turning it into an active signal receiver. Then, I use hot glue to mount the battery securely right on top. I plug the intact HDMI connector into the back of the receiver box. At the other end of the HDMI connector, I'm using pliers to strip off the insulation and expose the copper core inside. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any interesting ideas coming soon. Next, I'm preparing a length of coaxial cable. I will use a utility knife to strip off the outer insulation, exposing the braided shield and the copper core inside. This will allow us to connect the battery system. I'm connecting the brown wire to the inner copper core and the blue wire to the braided shield. I will wrap the joints tightly with electrical tape. This is a crucial step to provide insulation and prevent any signal interference or accidental short circuits. We want all that electrical energy directed properly into our setup. To make the connection incredibly durable, I slide a piece of heat shrink tubing over the joint. I use a lighter to shrink it down, creating a tough, weather-resistant seal. On the other end of the coaxial cable, I attach a standard TV antenna connector. I strip the wire to expose the center core and screw the metal connector firmly into place. This allows us to easily plug our newly created device into any television. The TV currently says, "No signal." I'm going to take our DIY antenna and plug it into the antenna port on the back of the TV. Look at that! Instantly, we have a perfectly clear, high-definition picture. I can flip through all these channels, and the reception is completely flawless. Just to prove this is really working, I'll go behind the TV and unplug our homemade device. And right away, the signal drops completely. I plug it back in, and the picture returns instantly. Our homemade antenna is a huge success. If you enjoyed this project and found it useful, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more fantastic DIY ideas. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.